Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great day. Here in Tennessee, it is rainy, it's dreary, it's windy, but it hasn't been that way all day, so that was great. We were thankful this morning was 70. It was windy, but it wasn't raining, so that was great. Our youngest son had a track and field meeting, so we were able to get through the whole field meeting without any rain, so that was wonderful because once it started, it hit quick and came down pretty fast. So I am back home and I wanted to share what I got at a garage sale. So I know to some of you all it may be weird, but I love old things, one, and I love stories to things. Even if I don't know the real story, just sometimes if I'm at an antique store and to see certain items and it's, you just think that what was that story with that item, So today I am showing you some old photos that I got from a sale. So no, I don't know these people. My husband, my boys, that they saw that I had purchased these and they're like, what is that? And who are those people? But actually it become pretty fun for all of us. We all sat down at the table and just started looking at these photos. My oldest son spotted some people in here in these that he knew exactly who they were when he saw those. And you'll understand why when I show you those. But it was really fun. And I thought, why not share this with you all? So this may be a two-part video because I do have quite a bit of photos. Matter of fact, I'll show you real quick. Here is the box that I got from the garage sale, and it's packed full. So I will show you those, and then I got something cool that I do want to show you that I got at that same sale, not even realizing anything until we got home, started looking at these photos. Then when we were all looking at them, I was like, wait, let me go get that. That was in the photo. So, or in some of the photos we found. So anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and get started, show you some of them. I'm not going to show you all of them, but I am going to show you a few. So like I said, it might be a two-part video. We'll see how that goes. But it really starts where we did kind of find a trail and a story to this box. It's a family named the Rainings, and I believe the state we wound up seeing or where they were from was Bloomington, Illinois. I'm pretty sure that's where it was, but we'll see here in a little bit. And it was we started seeing photos in the box, and the latest photos we saw were like in the 80s, so about 40 years ago, close to it. And then we found some 70s and 60s and 40s, and then we have dated things back to the 1800s from these photos, some of these anyway. So I thought that was really cool. And it's a couple, they were Carl and Gertrude, but she also apparently goes by Gertie Raining. And we found a lot of pictures of them. Matter of fact, this is a picture of them here. And that's Carl and Gertrude Raining. And then it dates back to some of these pictures being their parents, their grandparents. And this family, or this couple anyway, I know they were married in 1921 because I did find something in this photo box, which I'm sure we'll come across it together, that was like a wedding anniversary piece, and it said, that this couple was married. It was in September of 1921. So I thought that was really cool. Here they are again celebrating their 68th wedding anniversary along with their 87th birthday there. So I thought that was neat. And then we found just a lot of black and white photos. So I wanted to share those with you. This might not be some of y'all's cup of tea, and that's completely fine. But I thought this was really cool, and I thought somebody is going to be there with me and think this is cool too. So this is one of the photos that was in the box, and this was actually in a frame. Now it's not holding very well together, like literally I could barely push this photo and it probably fall out, because it is like one of those old photos, you can tell, or framed frames, because it has the nails in the back that's holding it together. I've always heard when it's the nails in the back, that does mean it's an older frame. But check that out. I thought that was really cool. Look at that wedding dress. I'm trying to not give you a glare, but I do have this lamp over here next to me on, because again, it's very dreary out today. So, but I thought that was really cool. And then we see this guy in a couple photos. Check that hat out. I wish I had that. That's cool. But I thought that was neat. And then this one here, I don't know if maybe that was Gertie a long time ago, or Gertie's mom, I'm not sure. But we see a lot of family photos that do have the last name Raining on the back of the pictures. And I'm holding this box in my lap, but I've also got Moxie in between me. She is not wanting to leave my side today. So then this picture is very old, but it doesn't have a date on it, but it does have Margaret Raining, Carl Raining, and Edward Raining. So this was Carl that we know was married in 1921. So he was married in 21. So this was him when he was a little boy with his siblings. And Carl was there in the middle, according to the way the photo is written on the back. So I thought that was really cool, because again, if he was married in 21 and that was him when he was little, you know, that could have been 1900 or even the late 1800s. So I thought that was really cool. And it does, I think we do find a date in here of when they were born. I think we do. Then found this one. It doesn't have a date on the back, but that's another wedding picture, not the same one as I showed you. This one's not as old, so this could be Gertie when she got married. Then we see this one, so pretty sure that's them or him with his siblings again, him being over in that far side. And then this one is an older one. Again, no dates that I know of. They do have like a printed number on the back, some of them. Then I thought this one was cool. Check out that automobile in the back. Thought that was really neat. And this is that same guy in that long photo I showed you earlier, I'm pretty sure. And, oh, it does say Gertie something and baby, great uncle from Germany. Okay. That's pretty cool. All right. And then here's Gertie and Carl. I think they were about 90 here, according to the photo, in 88, 89. Okay. And then we have this family here. I think this is Carl, the little boy there in the front. Carl, you know, is the one that married Gertrude. And then check that one out. And then we just have a whole lot of other black and white photos. I won't show them all to you, but we did have fun looking through them, and you know, especially when some was written on and realizing, oh, that had to be Carl's brother. Oh, that had to be Carl's mom, Carl's grandma. That was really neat, you know, to see. Here was a little bookmarker we found that somebody done for them, and it put a newspaper article in it, and we can tell they celebrated a lot of wedding anniversaries, not even like the even number ones, so they were celebrators. which is great. And it says Carl H. and Gertrude A. Raining of 1409 South Oak Street, Bloomington, will celebrate their 69th wedding anniversary Thursday. They were married at the bride's parents' home on September 6, 1921. So I was thinking it was the 1921. And then it just says who their parents were, and let's see, that they had 6 grandchildren, 13 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. They farmed until retiring in 1966. So, there was that. And look at here. Here's a mini pearl. And then, there they are again. Gertrude and Carl. And then, maybe that's them when they were younger. And yes, some of these I'm sure look faded and blurred, you know, maybe blurred, but that really is how the photo is in real person too. So, and then check this one out. This one is almost like cardstock. So I don't know if that was the way they did photos some, but it has like the border and everything. Check out that hairstyle and everything. I just think that's so cool. She had tight curls right on the top of her head. So that's really cool. Isn't it amazing the hairstyles that have changed over the years, and even ones that are coming back? And then, and clothes too. And then that was a family photo. They took a lot of pictures of flowers. And I will say that there was a newspaper article, and it said, oh, I can't remember the name of the flower shop, but it was a flower shop about their grand opening. So then we were kind of wondering, did someone in the family open a flower shop? You know, because there were a lot of flower pictures in here. And then this one here, and this does have a name. This was Margaret K. Cope. And this was August 11th of 1940. So what's that, about maybe 85 years ago? And then this just said it was a restaurant coffee shop, but look, can we tell what's behind there? And then check out all those old cars. It says Arizona just before you go into Oak Creek Canyon. Then check that out. This says it was taken in Oklahoma, March 25th, 1961. Some more of those types of pictures. Same thing. It says Oklahoma, 1961. So they must have visited. And then this one here says somebody on the baseline in Phoenix, Arizona. And there is a person there. Okay. And there's a lot more of those, you know, I guess they went on a trip, so that's what those are. And then check this one out. I see that couple a lot, so I am wondering, that may be Carl and Gertrude. They took a picture of this house here, so maybe that was a house that they lived in at some point. And then this one has some writing. Taken at New Albany, September 1st, 1940. So, very cool to me. And then, let's see. Oh, this one had an envelope full of pictures, and it was the other family I couldn't remember the name of a few minutes ago. So, you know, we've got Carl and Gertrude Raining, and we found different relatives of theirs in some of the photos with that last name. And then they apparently sent this to Carl and Gertrude on December 16th, 1965. And this was the Pfeiffer family. And I saw several of their names on the back of pictures. So they must have been good friends, or maybe that was a relative to one of them that married into the Pfeiffer family. So this picture here says it was an uncle, Uncle Ed. And then check this horse out. It says, oh, this is Gertie, because it says Lucky's the horse, and then over here says Gertie. So that's very cool. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them, but then here's one I believe was them when they were younger. And then, oh, we did see, I mean, look at the stacks. But we did see this was like a obituary, and it was for Victor Reigning 91. So maybe he was kin to Carl. Let's see. It says, oh, so Victor Reigning, that was born in, or that was 91 years old, he was born in 1899 at Stanford, and let's see, Carl, two brothers, and Carl was one of them, Carl and John Reigning. So this was Carl's brother's obituary, and so that means Carl's brother was born in 1899. We were assuming Carl and Gertrude was born in the late 1800s, because again, they married in 1921. So that is all coming together. And then that one, someone's holding a baby. And then check this one out. This says January of 1931. But look at that picture. So I thought that was really cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know, because I do have it over here with me. In some of these pictures, we see some gentlemen, and they're wearing this military hat. So at this same sale, guess what I got? This military hat. And when I got it, I really wasn't sure, like, you know, hey, is this like the real deal? I wasn't sure, but I thought it was really cool. And I hadn't, of course, went through the photos. I just bought the whole box for a price, and then, you know, it was a mystery, just kind of fun to go through and stuff. But when we got home and realized that, when I started going through the pictures with my husband and the boys, we were like, wait, this hat is the hat that is the same hat anyway, or looks like to be the same hat as what's on some of the photos. So is it the same hat? That's pretty cool if it is. Has the buttons on the side. They do look more like a gold color, and then this looks like a silver color. Inside it says U.S. patent, and it's got a number on it. And then my son found this part. So like the back of the hat, this leather strip pulls up, and it just says Cap Service Wool Serge Army Green 44, enlisted men class 4, January 31st, 1956. And then it goes on to say MILC 13998 GMC, September 9th, 1954. Uniform Cap, Co. Inc. 100% wool. So I thought that was cool. And then to think this could be one of the hats that we have saw in the photo. I just thought that was really cool. So maybe it is, maybe it's not, but did come from the same sale. And these photos, that hat does look identical to that hat. I mean, it has the band, it has the emblem there on the top. It looks just like it. So thought that was cool. This one here, another says Oklahoma. And then, oh, I think I already showed a picture like this. So we do see this man, you know, in several of them. So maybe that was Carl's brother or something. So anyway, we see that one. I thought that was really cool. I'm going to leave it here so this video don't get too long, but leave me a comment. It won't hurt my feelings. Do you think looking at old photos like this is weird or kind of cool? I think it is very interesting because, again, I love pieces that tell a story, and what better thing than a photo to let your imagination roll and tell a story. And then a lot of them do have the information on the back that you can kind of piece together, like, okay, that was a brother, okay, this one was born here, this one was married, this year. So I think that's really cool. But anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all. Until the next one, my friends, I'll see you then. Bye.